Hey guys, it's Kai here. Ignore the dancing. I was waiting for my video to start up. So I want to pop in today and chat for a little while. Today is Monday. It's actually the 27th of August. I never announce the dates. But something I wanted to talk about today is something that I tend to do on Mondays and also Thursdays. What happens is I tend to participate in a live stream that Tab does. Tab is the author and illustrator of Chaos Comics, and you can actually find his work down below in the description. And it's a fantastic piece. I've been reading it for a long time, and I've also been participating in the live streams for the last couple months. And he goes on particular times and things like that. He's actually in the UK, so he's about 6 hours ahead of me. So he's always about 8 o'clock his time. It's always about noon my time. But what's really fun is that I participate in the chat group that goes along with the live stream as he records the video and the illustration, things like that. Typically what happens is that every once in a while, or more often than not, I should say, Nate comes over as well and joins Tab. And chats with us as well as watches Tab illustrating things like that, who kind of keeps track of the chat on the screen while Tab's busy. What's really fun about it is that there's a great, fantastic group of regulars that show up to the live stream who are all over the UK, the US, and elsewhere. And what's really great about it is that it's such a boiling pot of people, and there's so many opinions and personalities. And what's really like my favorite thing about it is that it's such a comfortable and safe place to be. And I think it's always important to have those kind of places in your life, even if it's in the library at alone, or in real life, or even online. I think it's always important to have safe places that you feel comfortable online. What's really fun about it is that we always get into very strange arguments, discussions, other things like that, debates even about politics, queer rights, anything like that, anything topical. We get into fights about how the Chaos comic characters sort out into Harry Potter. I'll take the blame for starting that one up. That was last week. Or, just do silly stuff like everyone deciding to become Jack today. Yeah, that was an interesting one, watching everyone's usernames change. After a while, it's a little bit hard to keep everyone in line. Well, not like you need to keep them in line, but as far as the usernames, stay in line. So yeah, I mean, it's always a great fun. What's really fantastic about it is that it's always a pickup too. Friday and Saturday was a really great day for me. Saturday night was fine. Sunday morning slapped me in the face quite hard. Both really early morning training I had to do with work to update us with some new procedures and a new product that's going to be released in the studio, but also just cranky day altogether, nothing really going the way I want it to, those kind of situations. And those always kind of happen, but I haven't had one of those days for a few weeks since I started the medication. And it just slapped me up the head and made me its. So it was a difficult day. So being able to go from that and to switching over and popping into the live stream today is so nice. Because there's such a big group of regulars that show up to the live stream twice a week, there's people that I know and I get to know. And what's always nice about it is that I can actually go and I can talk to them and be like, hey, I had a really, bad day yesterday. This is kind of what happened. Just having someone to talk to really gets it off your chest. And of course, I always do the same for them if they have any issues that's going on with their lives. What's really great is that Nate tends to give us a lot of advice. There's a lot of sarcastic advice that he gives, but he is very, very helpful for giving advice, even if he is younger than me or anything like that, which I don't think that age has anything to do with how important somebody is. I don't think that age is a limitation. He is younger than me by a few years, but some of the advice he gives is just fantastic, whether it's sarcastic or not. But that's something that kind of ties in with the subject I've been wanting to bring up for a little bit, which is online friends versus your real-life friends, or your face-to-face friends, as I'm going to refer to them, since I think online and real life are the same thing. And of course, it's always important to be safe online, to know who you're talking about, who you're talking to, have your privacy settings set up on your personal pieces like Facebook and Tumblr. If you feel like you need it, don't feel afraid to use those. It's always, important to protect your own identity if you're not comfortable with somebody. But I think it's a great thing to have friends online. I think there's a lot of benefits to them being online and also benefits to them being offline. But I don't think there's a difference between the two. A lot of my really close friends are friends I met face to face, but it happens to be all long distance right now. My best friend's in England with her husband because they're stationed over there for the moment. My other friend is in California, going to school, living down there. She'll be starting school here probably by the beginning of spring. And then one of my other friends is all the way living in Connecticut right now, doing her own thing over there. So it's really hard to stay connected with everyone having different time zones, everyone being busy with school, work, families, all that kind of stuff that's going on. So what's really nice is always having not a second option, but having people online that are going to be there, or they're going to be there on a certain time, and having someone else to rely on when you can't connect to your actual face-to-face friends or particular people you want to. I am a part of a lot of different communities online, and what's really great about it is having that group of people to kind of bounce things off of and reflect from. Um, there's benefits to having friends on both sides, I think. I have friends that are online or who I've met through online services or platforms, who are just as reliable and friendly as someone I would have met in life or, face to face, or even more so. It's a lot easier to get online and talk to someone who's through Skype or anything like that sometimes than being face to face with somebody and have to worry about reactions or have to worry about getting out of an awkward situation. And also, what's really helpful, especially, since I'm taking pause from therapy for the moment, and we're resuming that in late September when, colleges open up and once campus open up again. But it's nice just having someone on a more casual level to talk with. And I know there's hundreds of people. Well, I mean, I say hundreds, but I know there's quite a few dozen people I know that I can turn to at any time if I need something. They'd actually be there for me. Which is strange because I know there's a lot of cynical people in the world. Not everyone is out there to make themselves better. There's actually people out there who care about you, even if they don't know you, don't know your birthday, don't know your eye color, don't know your hair color, even if you're just a username. There are people online that actually do care if you're in the right communities and also the right social settings. And I don't think you should be afraid of that. The reason why I do bring this up is because I know a lot of older generations, especially since, my age tends to be kind of the technology generation at the moment, also the internet generation, even though the internet kind of started around, the 70s, 80s is really when it got popular. Of course, the 90s is where it exploded, but, our generation essentially is where all this community-based building has occurred. I know a lot of times some of the older generations question, you know, um, the validation of certain people being online, things like that. And like I said, you need to be protective of yourself online. You need to be self-aware of what you're doing, what information you're putting out there. But you shouldn't feel that everyone online or anything like that is out to get you. There's some fantastic people. Um, be self-aware. That's always the most important. Be aware of what you put online, what you tell people, and things like that. But also, don't be afraid to use it to your advantage, and also to meet people that you wouldn't meet in 1,000 years if you only stayed face to face with people. For example, I know a graduate of Cambridge University in England because I participated in this live stream, and she's a fantastic, round-worlded person who I would have never had the chance to meet face to face because I'm not in England or Cambridge or anything like that. I want to travel there eventually, but the chances are millions and millions and millions to meet these people. Um, my friend in California, I met her online as well. And, the way that we met, it was such just the slightest ratio and chance and percentage that could have occurred. Meeting her online and developing into such a good, strong relationship and such a good, strong bond. I would have missed out on a fantastic friendship if I hadn't taken that little leap of faith, and gone that step in towards meeting her and things like that. I'm really, really happy that I did. Not just her being online or anything like that, but she's been one of my closest friends for the last 3, 4 years, and really has changed my life. And I think that's also another thing, is that you don't realize who can change your life unless you give them a chance or unless you talk to somebody. Um, and I don't want it to sound in a rude way or anything like that, but I think there have been more people online or more people I've never met in, face to face that have influenced me and infected me in a positive manner more than those people I've ever met face to face or, in real life, if you will. So don't give up on those opportunities. Don't let yourself get swept up in skepticism or in cynical nature or anything like that. And like I said, just be safe with who you're talking with. Otherwise, if you guys actually want to go ahead and join us, feel free on live stream. It does happen on Mondays and Thursdays. You can actually find the link down below through the Chaos Comic webpage. And there's also some more information, especially if you go to the forum section, as far as when it's going to be occurring and things like that. I know over in England, it usually streams about 8 p.m. For me on the West Coast here in Oregon, it's noon for me. And then, there's various time zones in between and whatnot that you can kind of adjust and kind of figure out. Anyways, I'm going to cut this. I do have some homework. I'm trying not to procrastinate again. So I'm going to finish that up for the rest of the night and watch El Dorado. I don't know why we were talking about it earlier. But if you guys have anything you want to chat about, or if you guys want to know about any more social connections or anything like that, or if there's topics you guys want me to chat about or questions, feel free to go ahead and send them through my Tumblr, my Twitter, or go ahead and send it through YouTube, and I can kind of use that to make more vlogs and kind of be more of a self-help kind of arena and be able to connect with you guys a little bit more. Anyways, that's it for today. I will catch you guys later, and you can find me, of course, elsewhere down below in the description. Bye.